I'm Al McGee with YETicket.com, and I'm here to talk to one of the stars in the film Survive the Game, Simon Phillips. He plays the character English, and he'll probably explain to us why he's called English. But hey, how you doing, Simon?
I'm good, Al. How are you?
Good, man. First of all, you got a lot of scenes with one of the stars, the big star, Burce Willis. Is this your
That's
first
right.
time working with him?
That is my first movie with Bruce. Yeah, sort of, but not my last, Al, because I also just completed filming on another one.
With him?
Yeah.
Oh, good, man. That means you're working. That's great. I'm glad to hear that. Now, tell us about your role and your character English in this film, Survive the Game.
Well, you can guess how long they spent thinking of my character name when it's called English.
Yeah.
That's how long the director spent thinking. James, God bless him, spent thinking about my character. Yeah, they were like an English, and they were like, we're going to call you English, and you're like a Vinnie Jones character, and so on. And I was like, yeah, great, I love it. So
Now,
and basically, I'm holding Burce Willis hostage. He's one of two detectives in the movie. The other one played by Sven Tremmel, and it's a drug bust gone wrong, and we end up holding Bruce hostage, and his partner spends the whole day trying to get him back, and it's all over one day.
how long did y'all shoot this film? How long did it take?
Oh, it took about 2 weeks to shoot it. It wasn't too bad.
And you were on this farm.
Yeah, we were on a farm. Yes, yeah, in the middle of Puerto Rico, doing this.
Oh, you were in Puerto Rico.
That's where it was shot.
Yeah, I saw some palm trees. I said, well, I live in Florida. I said, did they shoot this in Florida? I didn't hear anything about it. But you're in a better place, Puerto Rico.
Oh, well, we weren't that far from Florida. Yeah.
No, not at all. An hour plane ride. I don't know how long it'll take it to swim, but I know it takes about an hour on the plane.
I didn't try swimming, Al. I'm not that good.
Now, did you have to audition for this role?
Yes. Well, I knew one of the producers. I didn't know anybody on the film. I knew one of the producers who I had done another movie with. So I suppose my audition was the movie beforehand. And they were like, you know what? You'd be good in this sort of gangster movie. But it was a gangster, and there was a role available, and it was called Cowboy originally. And then I was like, okay, yeah. And I was like, is it with Burce Willis? And they're like, yeah. I was like, my scenes are, and they're like, oh, all your scenes are with Burce Willis. And I was like, oh, okay, great. I was like, in that case, yes. And then when she goes, okay, let me hook you up with the director, and you'll Zoom with the director and just chat with him, So as I was chatting with him, he was like, okay, we're going to rewrite your character. It's not going to be cowboy. It's going to be English, and you're going to be like a Vinnie Jones gangster. And I was like, oh, great. Because it's so much easier to do that, basically. So yeah, I mean, that was me happy.
Wow, I never heard. I mean, I think I heard of that before, where they meet the actor, they get the actor, then they change the script because of the actor. Man, that's really great.
That was absolutely great to have that happen. Now I was thrilled when that. I didn't actually even think it was possible. I wasn't trying to persuade him to make it English. Sort of, I was just because I was like, yeah, I can do this, man. I can cowboy, no problem. Bright costume, no problem. I'll work on the accent. And then he was just like, nah, we're gonna make you English. I like you as you are. And I was like, brilliant.
Wow, nice. Now, as English, and you there playing this gangster with the gun, did you have to say, like, with the gun and everything, how did you change from being a nice guy that you are to this gangster? I know it's acting, but a lot of times it's kind of hard to change from a nice guy to a killer. Tell us about your process.
In this one, I felt I wasn't really the killer because when I have my moments, when it's just me and Bruce in the room, when everybody else is gone, sort of, I have my moment, and you can see that I'm maybe I'm the wrong guy in the wrong place at the wrong time. Sort of, I've started to regret all my life decisions. I'm just deep in.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Now, did they let you improvise sometimes?
So we were filming maybe a week before Bruce turned up. And so me and my scene partner was another guy who actually ended up playing kind of cowboy. So there was like me and another guy, and we ended up sort of, he ended up being the redneck cowboy type character, and I ended up being English. And we spent most of the time sort of bitching at each other like an old married couple about which
Right.
country was better, England or America, which was good fun. And the director allowed us to improvise those bits. So that was great. And when Bruce turned up, the same director, James, he was like, "Okay, Simon, no, you can't improvise. You gotta keep it. You gotta keep it, sort of on the script because it's contractual, right? Bruce has turned up, and, knows the script, so you can't change it too much." But
Oh,
then
okay.
Bruce started to improvise in scenes that he was doing with me. So when he started to improvise, they were like, "Oh, okay, you can improvise," and I was like, "Oh, great!" And then we ended. So a couple of the scenes that you see are completely improvised.
Wow. Nice. Now I do remember you improvising with the cowboy because I think you call him a redneck, and he said, "Well, that's the difference between a redneck and another character that you call him," and things like that. I thought that was pretty funny. Those
Yeah, that
scenes
was
that you had.
Sean Kanan is wonderful. Most people know him from General Hospital or something like that, but he's an amazing actor, and he was a great scene partner for sure.
Yeah. My daughter's watching General Hospital yesterday. She's been watching it since she was about 13. She's 36 now. She loves
Oh
that
wow,
show.
yeah,
She
yeah,
loves
yeah.
that
That's got a
show.
very loyal fan base.
Yeah, yeah. Now, when they approached you about Survive the Game and they told you a little bit about the story, what was your first intake or your first thoughts about, well, this story about these gangsters stuck on this farm?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the story before. I mean, it's a Bruce Willis movie, where he's playing a cop, sort of. But what was different about it was James and the team people making it, because they were gonna make like a wall-to-wall action movie, but they were gonna have some sort of like comedic touches, like comedy was going to be in it a little bit, and that suited me just fine because it was I got to be that sort of like comedic relief. So to me it was, when I see the movie, it's like if you want an action movie it's great, but if you want an action movie that's got a little bit more sort of depth to it as well, it's there's a lot of colorful characters in this movie, as I would say, and I think everybody does like a formidable job executing it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They did a very good job with this film, acting in it, and also putting it together, the editing, the sounds effects, and things like that. They did a real good job, and I feel the set director too. He did a good job. I didn't see anything of Puerto Rico in that in the set
Yeah.
there. I really didn't. That was very good.
Yeah, they didn't. I don't think they ever named where it was. This place.
No, I didn't see it. I didn't see it in the credits when I
No.
was watching it too. Now, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us some things you've done, and also how did you get into acting?
Oh well, my mother was a bit of a frustrated actress back in England, and she did it for. She's now an author and a director in theatre, but she always had a
Wow.
very artistic life, sort of, and she never got quite the opportunities, I think, that obviously have been afforded to me. I've been very lucky. So I went to drama school, and I went to, when I was young, I went to drama club and drama school after that. Uh, and I did all the training, and then I did theater, and then that just led into TV and movies, and anyway, 20 years later, here we are, Al.
Yeah, and so obviously you had a parent that supported you,
Yes,
wanted you
for
to
sure.
go on with this because she understood the the market. She understood how being an actor or an artist like that, what you have to do to succeed, right?
She understood something that she didn't have the luxury of. She had three children, sort of, and she had a responsibility, I guess, to be, a mother and a wife and stuff like that. And she had made some of those choices, which meant for her at that time that it was too difficult for her to take a risk in not earning money. When it comes around to our generation or mine, I understood what this life means. It's sort of boom or bust. You're either very busy or you're not. and you have to be able to, got to be able to take that risk, sort of, because it isn't for the faint of heart, for sure.
Oh, it isn't. Trust me, I know. I know. Now, Simon, what do you love about acting? Tell me a little bit. What do you really love about it?
I mean, what's not to love? You play dress up for a living, so it's very child. Sort of ever since I watched, I don't know, the A-Team when I was young, I always wanted to be like in these action sort of, that was always my thing. I loved Die Hard when I was a teenage boy. I like, all these things led to such one, like Indiana Jones, Star Wars. I was that kid. I loved all that. And it seems so fantastical. And I'm kind of like, I get bored easily in life. Like, sort of, I could never hold down a 9-to-5 job. I'm just not built that way. So for me, it was the only thing I could do, sort of, because I had energy to do that, but I didn't have energy to do anything I didn't really love doing.
Oh yeah, trust me, I understand what do you mean by that, because that happened to me many times throughout my life. And I finally found a niche. I found many niches throughout my life, but this is a very good niche right here, especially talking to someone as talented as you are. Thank you. Now, what are you going to do next? Or, you said you just shot a film again with Burce Willis, and you got other projects going on?
Yes, of course. It's good to be busy, right? So
good.
We have I just wrapped up on another Burce Willis one called The Fortress. And in this one, I'm not in a scene with Burce Willis, but I'm in scenes. Anyway, he's still in the movie. But I'm back with Jesse Metcalfe and Chad Michael Murray again, sort of on it. So it was a bit of a reunion of all the cast. But it was good fun to come back to that one. I've also got Age of the Living Dead Season 2. Our TV show is about to drop at some point, I think in early November. So I'll know when I know. I'm sure I'll be back telling you, Al.
I hope so.
And I've got another Christmas movie on the go. So
good. Yeah, because that Age of Living Dead is very popular, man. That's a very popular show. It's very popular. And it's very good too. I really enjoyed it. I've seen some episodes from that show.
The closest I get to a 9-to-5 is that show.
That's good. Now, one more question about Survive the Game. When an audience member sees this movie, what is their special moment when they see this film?
Well, it's when Simon Phillips comes on screen. Now, if you listen to Lionsgate are going to tell you that it's when Bruce comes on screen, or Chad Michael Murray and his perfect hair come on screen, but it's not. It's when Simon comes on screen.
You're absolutely right, because there was some funny moments, and I said, "Wait a minute!" And you all were talking to each other in the scenes. I said, "Wow." They really like each other. I'm talking about off screen, you know what I mean? Like that, to spend a lot of time like that, talking to each other. Man. Well, Simon, I want to thank you very much. I really appreciate talking to you. And I want to talk to you again about your next project. I hope I get a chance.
I'll be back if you have me back, Al. That's a deal.
I would love to, Simon. And I want to thank you for talking to me, Al McGee, here at yeticket.com. And look up my channel, man. I got some good things on there. Now you on there, so it's very important.
Of course, everybody should be checking this out because Simon's on there.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Al. Take care.
This is your entertainment ticket. Latest and greatest.